Good morning, everyone. So, today I am going to start chapter 5, the fundamental unit of life of class 9. So, what do you understand by the term fundamental? The term fundamental means like a brick is a fundamental unit or maulik ikai of the house. Like that, a cell is the fundamental unit of life. So, what is cell now? So we are comparing, for an example, a cell with a brick. So a cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of life. Okay, so structural means it is making the structure, the entire structure of our body, from a cell to the tissue, then to the organ, then to the whole body. Now, what do you understand by the term functional? Functional means it is alone performing functions. Many functions are being performed in the cell itself. Okay, so it is the functional and structural unit, and it is the smallest unit of life. Okay, so it is called structural. It is called structural unit as all living organisms are made up of cells. Okay, and functional unit of life unit as it is the smallest structure capable of performing basic life processes. So I am reading it again. Cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of life. As why we are calling it structural and functional unit? The reason is being written here. It is called structural unit as all living organisms are made up of cells, and functional unit as it is the smallest structure capable of performing basic life processes. Okay, so I am going to the next topic. Who discovered cell? The question arises, who discovered cells? Anyone knows? So the answer is, it is discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. Okay, so in the next section we are going to discuss the various discoveries regarding cells. Okay. Discoveries okay. First is Robert Brown. इन्होंने क्या किया था? What he did? Nucleus. He found out the nucleus. He discovered the nucleus of the cell. In 1831. Okay. Now, and Second scientist is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Let me take the spelling. Leeuwenhoek. It is OE. So, what he discovered? Free living cells. Free living cells in pond water. In pond water. तालाब के पानी में इन्होंने फाइंड आउट किया था लिविंग सेल्स, दैट इज बैक्टीरिया, in 1670. Okay. These are most important. Other we will discuss in higher classes. So now we have discussed the definition, some discoveries, important scientists, what they did. Now, basically, if we consider a cell, this is a cell. It's a rectangle. Okay. So what are there in the cell? The outermost layer is plasma membrane. Plasma membrane, that is selectively permeable. It is present in plants as well as in animals also. So in case of plants, there is additional layer, additional outer layer that is hard in nature. It is cell wall. Cell wall. Okay. It is only present in plants. Okay. Inside the plasma membrane, first is cell wall, then plasma membrane, then there is cell organelles. The basic prominent structure inside the cell is nucleus. Nucleus, where हमारा hereditary material DNA, or in some other organisms RNA is also there in the nucleus. Okay. This is, then mitochondria is there. Okay, double membrane in case of animals and plants. Then Golgi apparatus हो गया, ribosomes and other cell organelles also. Vacuoles, large vacuoles in plant cell. Okay, vacuole, mitochondria. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. We will discuss them later on. Okay, this is the basic structure of cell. Basic structure of a cell. Okay. So previously we discussed about the cell structure, basic cell structure and the organelles. I have drawn the rough diagram of the cell. Now we are going to start with cell organelles. What are cell organelles? So I have written some properties of the cell organelles, basic properties that are mentioned in the NCERT. So basic component within the cell. What are cell organelles? If we talk about the definition, basic component within the cell. Cell के अंदर जो भी basic components होते हैं, we are calling them cell organelles. Now, each kind of cell organelles perform a special function. Okay, you will study later on that each kind of cell organelle perform a special function. Okay, like mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It is helping the cell to generate ATP, energy. A cell is able to live and perform all its function in any organisms because of the cell organelles. So how we are going, why we are saying a cell is able to perform, a unicellular is able to perform all living processes like respiration, digestion, digestion. For example, amoeba can perform any function. So it is unicellular. So that's why we are saying a cell is able to live and perform all its function in any organisms. Cell organelles are suspended in the cytoplasm. कहाँ पर प्रेजेंट होते हैं सेल ऑर्गेनेल्स? साइटोप्लाज्म में सस्पेंडेड होते हैं. दे आर सस्पेंडेड इन द साइटोप्लाज्म. एग्जाम्पल प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन हो गया, न्यूक्लियस, साइटोप्लाज्म आर दी मोस्ट basic component of the cell. Now we will study the structure of the plasma membrane or the function of the plasma membrane. So now we are going to discuss plasma membrane. What is plasma membrane? It is the first point is the outermost layer of animal cell, not plant cell, animal cell. Okay, now next is it gives shape to the cell. And provides mechanical support like pillars in the house, support and protection to the inner contents of the cell. So what I have written here, it is the outermost layer of the animal cell, not plant cell. Plant cell has the outermost layer, that is cell wall. It gives shape to the cell and provides mechanical support and protection to the inner contents of the cell. The inner contents are like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, nucleus are being protected because of the plasma membrane, and it is called selectively. It is called selectively permeable. Why selectively permeable? Because it allows only entry of some materials in and out of the cell. It is selectively permeable. It selects the things that are meant to be inside the cell and out the cell, out of the cell. And it is highly flexible in nature. Living membrane होती है, made up of organic molecules, proteins and lipids की बनी होती है. So this is all about plasma membrane. So our next most important part of the cell is cytoplasm. So it is a fluid medium present within a cell, between cell membrane, or we can say plasma membrane, and nucleus. It is nucleus. Okay. Now in cytoplasm, all the cell organelles remain suspended. All of the cell organelles remains suspended. Okay. Now next is in this medium, it is liquid. It is the fluid medium. That's why all the it is the main medium in which all reactions, cellular reactions take place in the cell. Okay. So again, it is a fluid medium present in the cell between cell membrane, that is plasma membrane, and nucleus. Now, in cytoplasm, all the cell organelles remain suspended. It is the main medium in which all the cellular reactions are taking place. So now, third most important component of the cell is nucleus. So first I will tell you the structure of the nucleus. This is the rough diagram of the nucleus. It is double membrane structure. So inside the nucleus you can see some thread-like structure. These are DNA or RNA in some organisms. Okay, DNA in most of the organisms. Now you can see the nuclear membrane. This is the nuclear membrane, that is double membrane. It is integrated. I mean, not continuous at some places. There are open pores. There are open pores. These are called nucleopores. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you the features of the nucleus. It is known as the brain of the cell. Why brain of the cell? Because many of the functions, hereditary functions mainly, are controlled here, controlled by the nucleus. Okay. Known as the brain of the cell. Why? Because it regulates all major activities inside the cell. Now, nuclear membrane. I just told you that nuclear membrane is double layer. Double layer. It has tiny pores called nucleopores. These are called nucleopores. These openings are called nucleopores. Now, inside the cell there is a small structure, prominent structure, that is called nucleolus. Nucleolus, small spherical structure, helps in making RNA molecules that we will study in later classes. It is a site where ribosomes are formed. Okay. Next most important component of the plant cell is the cell wall, the outermost covering. The outermost layer of the cell is plant cell is cell wall. Present in plant cell, it is non-living in nature. It is non-living in nature. It provides structural strength and rigidity to plants. Structural strength and rigidity to plants it provides. Gives proper shape to the cell. It gives proper shape to the cell. So thank you everyone for watching the video. Today we discussed about the cell, what is cell organelles, and most important component of the cell, that are cytoplasm, plasma membrane, nucleus, and cell wall in plant cell. So that's all for today. We will study in later.